There's a quiet moment in life that most people never talk about. No celebration, no announcement, nothing dramatic. But inside, something shifts. It happens when you open your bank app and you don't feel panic. You don't rush to close it. You don't start doing mental math. You don't feel pressure. You just look at the number and you breathe. For a long time, money feels loud. It interrupts your thoughts. It follows you everywhere. Every purchase feels like a decision. Every decision feels heavy. Coffee becomes a calculation. Groceries become a negotiation. Not because you're irresponsible, but because you're constantly managing stress. My name is Jay. I don't talk about money in complicated numbers or flashy promises. I talk about how money actually feels when you're trying to build a calm, stable life. People love to talk about big numbers, $1 million, six figures, early retirement. Those numbers sound powerful, but they're not where most people's lives actually change. For most people, the real shift happens much earlier, much quieter, around $20,000 saved, not because 20,000 makes you rich, but because it changes how your brain works. When savings are low, your brain stays alert, always scanning for danger, a bill, a repair, a bad month. Psychologists call this survival mode. In survival mode, you don't plan long-term, you react. You take the job you can get, not the job you want. You stay quiet, even when something doesn't feel right. Not because you lack ambition, but because uncertainty feels unsafe. Savings don't just protect your money, they protect your attention. When you know you can survive a few bad months, your nervous system calms down. You stop living in emergency mode. That calm creates space. Space to think, space to learn, space to choose. For most people, $20,000 equals 3 to 6 months of living expenses. It's enough to handle surprises, a car issue, a medical bill, a slow month. These stop being disasters, they become inconveniences. Before this point, investing feels pointless. You put money in, the numbers barely move. A good year might earn a few $100s. Nice, but not meaningful. At 20,000, the math changes. Returns become noticeable. Progress becomes visible. The first 20,000 is the hardest. It takes discipline, consistency, patience. The second comes faster, not because you changed, but because momentum did. Your money starts helping you, quietly, slowly, reliably. Saving this amount proves something important. You can say no. You can stick to a plan. You can delay gratification. That's not just a money skill, that's a life skill. Once you see yourself as someone who can do that, your behavior changes. You stop obsessing over small expenses, not because they don't matter, but because bigger decisions matter more. Where you live, what you drive, how much you save, where you invest. Your mental energy shifts from stress to strategy. Work feels different too. When you live paycheck to paycheck, you're stuck. You can't push back. You can't negotiate. You can't leave. Savings change that dynamic. You gain options. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to threaten anyone. Just knowing you could walk away changes how you show up. You speak more clearly. You set better boundaries. You ask for what you deserve. People notice. Confidence leads to opportunity. Opportunity leads to growth. Growth builds more savings. It becomes a positive loop. Quiet, stable, compounding. This is where many people make a mistake. They reach this point and spend it to feel successful. A new car, a big trip, a lifestyle upgrade. That money is not a reward, it's a foundation. Every big purchase has a hidden cost, not guilt, but opportunity. What could this money become if left alone? Once you ask that question, choices feel different, not restrictive, but intentional. This isn't about never enjoying life, it's about direction, spending on what matters, letting go of what doesn't. $20,000 won't make you rich, But it moves you out of survival mode, out of fear, out of reaction, and into choice. That's the real milestone, and once you feel it, everything starts to move differently.